Eric Davis, president of the club.
Luciano Rashido, vice president.
DJ Spiegel, chief financial officer.
And Grace. Hi, Grace.
Hi, Director of Sales.
Okay.
And marketing.
And our last team member.
Yeah.
Hello.
Andy.
Hello.
And that's Matt for everyone.
And that's
Oh,
just
I gotta put, well, then I should probably change my name on here.
from iPhone to
Well, it was changed and then I had to jump off and now I had to redo it.
That's all right. We'll refer to you as iPhone Matt.
Yeah, iPhone Matt.
There you go.
There we go.
No, well, guys, if we, I know we did the introductions a little bit, but if we want to kind of like go into like, before we get into the crunch, we could talk a little bit about your guys' background, maybe with the sport or just in the sporting industry in general. I don't know which order you guys want to do it, but if you just want to.
Yeah, I'll take it away. My background with soccer starts when I was 3.5 years old. When my parents handed me a pair of cleats and said, tie these up and you're going out and playing soccer now. So since that moment, I fell in love with the game. It's my first love. But in terms of like where I'm from, where I grew up, went to Mentor High School in Mentor, Ohio, played soccer through there as well as through Lake Erie College. And I graduated from there in 2016. And previous background to this was just working in the sales, field of sales, and decided to just level up my career and jump over to the Cleveland Crunch.
Awesome.
Yeah, I started playing soccer at a very young age as well, just like Eric, about 4 years old. I went to Wycliffe High School, played soccer at Lake Erie College. That's where Eric and I met back in 2012. Right now, I'm a JV soccer coach at Mentor High School, and I also am a special education teacher for Mentor City Schools.
That's awesome.
nice.
I'm PJ Spiegel. I actually played soccer for like 2 years when I was 6 and 7. So, but I chose the other football. So I played American football for years. I graduated from Mobley South and went on to play football at Otterbein University. And I graduated in 2006 or 17 as well, or after these guys. And now I am a corporate tax consultant for Ducharme McMillan Associates. So yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I can kind of go next. So I've been like them, played soccer since a really young age. Played at Medina High School, won a state championship with them. Went on to Lake Erie College and played on the women's program. And then also played semi-professional for the Dayton Dutch Lions down in Dayton for a few months. And then went back into the sports world, worked for Cleveland Cavaliers and the Cleveland Monsters. And now I currently work at Topgolf.
So you're the most athletic out of all of us, I think.
Oh, by far. By far.
Probably.
So hi, I'm Andriana. I played soccer for a little bit growing up, but it was never really my sport. Even though I never got into it, I grew up around it, especially being Luciano's sister, going to his games at Wycliffe and also attending his games at Lake Erie, and my dad being a soccer coach. So even though I didn't play it, it's a sport that I've grown up, being around. I also graduated from Wycliffe High School, and right now I work I'm still in school. I'm graduating in December. So in school, I'm working as a public relations at my university's marketing department. And I also work in public relations for a school in El Paso, Texas.
You guys got all your bases covered.
Right.
From what I'm hearing.
It's good to hear. I mean, a lot of these teams are, the owner will start a team up because he starts sports teams up and it's him and, oh, now we got to hire people. And you guys have a good core who knows each other and has worked well together. So it's kind of neat.
So we mesh pretty well.
Yeah, all of us have previous relationships and rapport built before coming together to, as a team to tackle this. So that's what made it, that's what propelled us, I would say, definitely going into this, is already having that relationship with each other. We all have our different niches that cover each segment of the business. So like just to piggyback off what PJ said, like that's what helps us mesh together and really bounce ideas off of us and come to conclusions as a team.
So what drew you guys into arena soccer rather than the full outdoor?
Well, I mean, I guess it starts with just being big fans at a young age. I mean, Crunch fans, Force fans. So, like, kind of just came across the opportunity being there, realizing that there hasn't been anything going on in Cleveland for a while. And Davis is actually the one that initiated conversation with the league, and somebody reached out to him, and we were kind of just figured out that this actually is a good opportunity, and we should, go after it and see where we can take it.
Yeah, just to piggyback off that, I submitted an application through the expansion tab in the on the MASL website, and within 3 days, I received correspondence back from the front office. So from there, conversations started taking place, and the opportunity with the trademark being up for grabs after nearly 20 years of just sitting there dormant allowed us to really cover ourselves legally and get into things.
We realized it was a huge opportunity. I mean, who doesn't love the Crunch, right? I mean, it's pretty cool. Back in the day, they were pretty good. Three titles, pretty sweet. And then on MASL, great league. Been around for quite some time now. So it was a great opportunity to jump into something like that as well.
So what hoops did you have to do to get the naming rights?
Honestly, not a lot.
Nothing.
Yeah.
It's surprising.
I'll take it.
All I literally did was I hopped on the IRS website or the USPTO website and just researched, the Cleveland Crunch, and it all just came up as everything's been real dead since 2001. And that really got me thinking. And actually even prior to that, so I posted an Instagram poll on my story, and I had a Cleveland Force shirt and a Cleveland Crunch shirt next to each other. And so took a picture, put it out there and said, if it was up to you, which team would you bring back to Cleveland for indoor soccer? And 79% voted in favor of the Crunch, obviously winning 3 titles. The name resonates pretty heavily. So took those results and started talking with Luciano more. Noticed that I posted that poll on my story, and we just kind of started talking a little bit and led us into more research, and then from there getting the trademark.
Yeah, I mean, really, we just pretty much got it covered from the legal side. I mean, we had obviously multiple lawyers look into it and realize that it was completely available. So that was when we really made the decision, and then kind of couldn't really do much until it went live, but now it is live, so now we're just full go.
Yeah, we have the trademark, so we just kind of hit the ground running since that point.
Nice. So the questions everyone wants to know, what division do you think you'll start in, and what year will you start in?
We're aiming to start in November 2021 in the Major Arena Soccer League, the M1.
That's not.
We'll update your background with this, Adam.
Yeah, right. Well, yeah.
So are those available for the public, by the way?
The T-shirts. So
Yeah.
Our online team store. Be on the lookout for more updates coming soon on our social media. But there'll be many apparel and merch items to select from, including this design with the coming 2021. So just stay tuned with us. It should be we should be dropping that in the coming days.
Yeah.
Nice.
Nice. Yeah, definitely share that to the group there. So there's two main, there's one main indoor soccer group, and then there's a side group that these other guys run. We'll look at it that way. But every time, I've been involved in the sport here 2011, 2012. So I kind of grew up with soccer and with the wave and things, but haven't really gotten into it in the last, for the last 8 years. But every time there's a question of, what teams would you like to see back? What expansion teams should there be? Cleveland Crunch comes up every single time. I mean, not like most of the time, like every time that question comes up, it's Cleveland Crunch. So that's really cool to see. And we'll do whatever we can to support.
No, I mean, I've seen you guys get a good reaction too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, support's definitely there. And that actually just goes into one of your previous questions on why we decided to do this. It's because we kind of already knew that the support would be there, and it's showing. I mean, we definitely, it's nostalgic for people.
Mm-hmm.
If you just look at the surrounding markets, so the Browns, the Cavs, the Indians, I mean, the market is here for sports in Cleveland. People want to come out and watch sports and see good teams. I mean, there aren't very many good teams in Cleveland right now, so let's
I think the Indians. No, the Indians just made the playoffs. I think
They
they
did.
made the playoffs.
They did in the playoffs, but they
Shut
missed.
up.
They missed
We'll
the
try.
first time in a while last year, unfortunately.
They beat my White Sox tonight. So
Oh, they did.
I
Yeah,
saw
it was
that.
a good game. I was watching a little bit. Yeah.
They've had a tremendous year, by the way. The White Sox.
Yeah.
Yeah, they
crazy year. Crazy year.
How are you?
I didn't expect it, but I'll take it. You know.
How are you a White Sox fan?
I was thinking the
How am
same
I a
thing,
White
but I didn't want to ask.
So my favorite player growing up was Frank Thomas, the Big Hurt. So,
Understandable.
and he was a White Sox player for 15 years. So,
Absolute legend.
yeah. So, okay. So you guys said you started playing when you were younger. So did you guys ever go to Cleveland Crunch games? And if you did, who was your favorite player?
Oh,
Absolutely.
yeah.
I went to tons of Crunch and Force games, and I mean, honestly, my favorite player was Otto Orff, but Hector, and I loved Hector and Zora. I mean, pretty basic, right? But those guys, they're the ones scoring goals, making it exciting. Obviously, I was a fan of everybody on the team. I mean, but it just those guys. I went to Otto Orff soccer camps. He was my favorite player for sure.
So Matt,
Yeah.
who's on your all-time All-Star team?
Big Crunch.
Hector Marinero was.
Here you go.
Hector Marinero was. Of course he was.
Yeah, Hector, Zoran, Otto. I mean, you got to throw Tommy Tanner on there, right?
Yeah,
Tommy.
Tanner.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tim Timo.
The Iron Man.
You're making Matt's night right now.
We're just gonna go and we'll let Matt.
I was gonna mention Tommy Tanner eventually. I mean, because obviously he is a general manager. Have you guys reached out to him at all for any
Yeah.
tips, any advice?
We've had conversation with him. Yes, absolutely.
It'd be funny if he leaves Utica.
Oh, I mean, so
I'm just kidding, Matt. I'm just kidding.
About that, Matt.
So we were kind of just talking on Friday about travel and kind of bridging. There's a bunch of pockets of teams. There's one out west. There's one out east. Then there's this like Midwest kind of thing where Milwaukee's kind of on its own, and the two Missouri teams are kind of on their own. And this will kind of help bridge that travel gap between Midwest and the East Coast. And then Florida's still stuck down there, and that's their own problem.
Yeah.
But no, this is really cool. So we've heard a lot of rumors, of course, because I know there's been when you got the website and the Facebook page going, there were just little leaks of information here and there, and people ran with it, and it was definitely going to be MASL 2, but it was going to be this year. No, it was going to be next year. No, it's 2 years from now, and nobody really knew. So it's good we finally got it cleared out. M1 top division, 2021 season, which anyone going into the league right now would be insane with everything going on and COVID and just everything shut down. And we don't even know if we're going to have a season. The Wave may not play. We found that out last week. Depending on arena availability, I know like Rochester, they can't have games until at least late November or late January. It's going to be crazy. But so let's talk about a venue. What do you have figured out for the venue?
We're in quite a few contract talks right now. Nothing's set right now, but we plan on announcing that next year. But until those contracts are leveled out, we can't really.
Bring back the Convocation Center. Let's go.
That is all.
It seems to be popular.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's a common request by the fans.
Yeah.
Understandable. So it's a great venue. Great venue.
It holds all the
A lot of
nostalgia
memories.
still.
A lot of memories for you guys.
Yeah, and we can throw some banners up there. Remember the legends, they deserve to be remembered. So.
And guys, let me tell you, the Convocation Center still holds the attendance record in MASL, MPSL history with the 12,000. Was it 756,
Yeah.
right? So, or the MPSL record, MISL separate from that, but so that's still in existence today.
The attendance record.
The attendance record from
He's
that
just
event.
jabbing at our sides right now.
Gonna work to beat it.
That was the 99 championship game, game 5
Right.
against St. Louis. Tied 2-2.
Oh yeah.
So
Man.
I remember those games against Baltimore too, Gio.
oh
Yeah,
yeah,
man. I mean, there were some good times.
Yeah.
But
For us.
we gotta wait. We gotta wait till 2021.
Yeah.
No, I definitely am
Field
looking
is
forward to
fun.
seeing you guys on the field or on the court.
Yeah.
And see
Absolutely.
how things go. And when you guys get going, that's going to be exciting. I know the
What do
Yeah.
you call the field down there, Gio? I mean,
you know what?
we have fields. Like we have fields. Like Milwaukee has a field. Utica has a field. What do you guys call it down there?
That's why I said a court. Didn't you catch that?
You really called it the court, didn't you?
Okay. Play soccer on it. There it is.
Pinball field.
You know.
All right, we'll go back. Okay. We had our jab in at the blast. I'm sure we'll get a couple more.
That's every show, right? That's
Every-
like a.
Well, yeah. I mean, you knew it coming in, so. Yeah, Matt's
Sorry.
shaking his head.
Sorry.
Well, you weren't here Friday, so you missed those
That
jabs.
rivalry somehow, right?
Oh yeah, you guys have blast and bring back that rivalry.
Of course.
Yeah, for sure. It's a great rivalry. You got to add a few trophies though. Right now, only San Diego's is against us.
Yeah. We got
Matt, you can't even talk right now, Matt.
Who invited this guy?
But no, have you guys actually talking about players and their?
Excuse me for a second. All right, go ahead, Gio. Sorry.
Have you guys started looking at like when you will look to shape your team, or like have you been talking to like possible coaches or anything?
Yeah, we've talked with a few different coaches, but nothing set in stone when it comes to that just yet. Nothing concrete. But as far as the open tryout dates for the Cleveland Crunch, that will be in late November. Looking at a couple of different weekends around that Thanksgiving time. So again, just one of those things that stay tuned with us through our social media. We plan to have announcements for that in early October.
And we have quite a few current players reaching out to us via social media and through
That's awesome.
our website and emails. So there's a lot of interest there. So we're gonna hold an open tryout and see who comes out on top.
That's awesome.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, sometimes it feels like the players are recruiting us versus us reaching out, recruiting talent. So
It makes your job easier though.
Yep.
Okay, so I'm calling this now. Antonio Manfred. His home is Cleveland. He will play for the Crunch 2021.
I know Antonio.
Oh yeah,
Oh, yeah.
we know. Yeah, we plan to.
I'm calling it now.
Probably already signed.
Mad about it.
Yeah. The reaction's telling me maybe he signed already.
Future press release.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So speaking of the PR side of the house, it's a really interesting time to be starting a team because we're in this kind of lull where there's nothing going on. There's no games going on. Nobody knows what's happening with the season. You guys are just killing it on social media. What are some of your strategies? Obviously, we've all seen it, but kind of talk about some of your strategies and some of the things you're looking to do maybe differently from other teams that you've seen coming into this.
Andy, you want to take that?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I think social media has become, obviously, it's very important to us. It's something that we utilize very well. And it is also something that we have been able to use to obviously communicate with our audience and really market the Cleveland Crunch coming back. So it's definitely been a very essential tool for us in this process. And it has helped us gain a lot of media coverage as well. So I think right now our main focus is to keep the strategy that we've been doing, which is really post things that people can engage with and things that will, generate buzz and get people excited about the Crunch coming back. And also with times of COVID, obviously, like you said, people aren't playing games and things like that. So really it's just about, getting people excited for what's to come and what will be when the Crunch does return next year, and just kind of keep pushing out things as they happen. Do you guys have anything else to add?
Also, to add to that a little bit, not only to promote what's to come, but also to educate people about the history of the Crunch.
Mhm.
So I mean, we post a lot of videos about previous championships and facts and player stats, and just getting people educated and knowing that we had a good team here in Cleveland. It could very well still be that way.
Yeah.
And that was one of our biggest challenges. So with bringing the Crunch back, obviously people of our age and older know about the crunch, know about the force, but we started asking a few people, like Eric's brother had never heard of the crunch before, and he's only 2 years younger than him. So that was a big challenge for us, was kind of educating the fans, the younger fans, getting them involved, kind of teaching them how great we were. If you don't know who Hector Marinero is, I mean, that's a problem.
Right.
Yeah.
We understood that there was
Inside.
a gap that needed to be bridged, and for us, we're having fun with it. We really
Yeah.
are. And it's allowed us to, like Andy's already honed in on, just grow our social media, and when we have a product on the field too, then we'll really start to put a face behind the brand and help connect the dots.
I think we're
Also,
in a cool place where we still have like Hector, Zoran, Otto still all in the area, and they're super involved with the soccer community. So obviously, like, we have their blessing, and we've established like a really solid foundation and relationship with them. So being able to utilize them a little bit to our advantage too, especially when it comes back to people's stories of the past and having them involved. But again, they just in the area have such a tie to the soccer community that's really helping with the buzz as well.
Yeah. And also we're really focused on, building that positive reputation, and credibility with, our fans and who may follow the crunch. And that's a big focus of ours.
And honestly, with our conversations with Hector and Otto and Zoran and all the major players back in the day, they never really got a proper send-off. The crunch kind of disbanded in 2002. And they didn't get to celebrate all their championships. They never got their banners in the rafters, and that's something that we want to do. We want to have a Hall of Fame night, first night out. Promote them, really give them the proper send off that they deserve.
Absolutely.
That'd be awesome.
That's a cool idea. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely be a good thing for the fans and the players, more importantly. So. Now, I know social media is a big topic we talk about a lot, because the fan engagement is the heart of the sport, honestly, from what I see or from what I think, and just me personally. And without that, like, most teams are dead silence. There's no interaction with the fans, especially now. So what you guys are doing is awesome. That's kind of why I always engage with you guys, because of the work you guys are doing is amazing, and I want to do my part to help you guys. But with that, I see that you guys are doing camps and all that. Are you guys running that, or is that players running that?
We have some, possible future players that will be there, but they can't really have that be set in stone until we're a little bit further down the process, like official contracts and things like that. But also, we'll be there as well. We have some other people we know that we've played with in college or have coached with, who were coached at the college level, played at the college level, even, some ex-professional players that will be at the camp. So
I saw one of you guys doing some around the world. So I was like, oh man, look at these guys.
that was El Presidente.
Yeah, El
I didn't do it.
That's awesome.
Yeah, we'll be out there with the boots laced up, cones in hand, handing out pennies. We'll be there.
Kids are bringing
as
their own balls,
grassroots as
though.
possible.
Kids are bringing their own balls. COVID safe.
Yeah, for
With
sure.
fun miles.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So
Now, we didn't get to hear everyone's favorite former players, though. We only got one.
Oh, yes.
We can't skip that question.
No. Well, obviously, mine was Michael Jordan of indoor soccer, Hector Marinero. The team itself was just always so good. Otto, Zoran, they're equally as part of my favorite. But the guy I really remember, the most was the one producing the goals, which was Hector.
So everyone's gonna pick Hector. I love Zoran. He still holds the record for assists in a game, 6 assists in a game for the '96 championship game. So I know Hector was scoring a lot, but Zoran was too. He was giving the ball to Hector when he needed it. So it was cool to watch back in the day. And the highlights now, it's still fun to watch.
Dynamic duo.
The dynamic duo,
Where's
baby.
that bobblehead?
Yeah, but who was that midfielder on that line? I completely forget who it was.
Yeah, we got the
Tommy Tanner.
Yeah.
We
The
got
dynamic duo.
right there.
About Tommy Tanner.
No, we can't forget about Tommy Tanner. How about you guys?
Well, we already know who Matt's favorite player is.
Oh,
No, I'm not, no,
He's not
I'm
quite
not gonna say, I'm not gonna say Tommy Tanner. I'm not. Okay, so my background in indoor soccer is pretty much the same as Adam's. So during this time of COVID and stuff, I'm gonna be completely honest. I've been watching old Cleveland Crunch games. And
Nice.
two of my favorite memories involve 0-0. There was a game in Cleveland against Montreal. There's like 3 seconds left on the clock. Cruncher down by 1. I think Tommy might have passed or someone passed it. Otto Orff came up from the goal and put it right by the keeper with like 1 second left to win the game. And then the double overtime game against, was it St. Louis? It was either St. Louis or Kansas City.
Yeah, St. Louis. Yep.
Yeah, where Otto Orff like came out of the box, like headed it out, and
Amazing.
then that led to Hector scoring in double overtime. So
Yeah.
No surprises there.
Yeah, that was a sensational play, absolutely. And to back that up too, he had 15 saves before that only shot on goal, which was our overtime goal. So
yeah, he was dead. He was dead tired after. I don't think
he was getting
he was on the floor the whole time. So yes, I would say Otto Orff, and then of course Tommy a close second. But
That's pretty
Yeah.
Man, that's a
Otto
tough
loves
question.
handles too.
That's a tough question.
Pondering.
It's a tough one. There's so many good players.
Yeah.
Adam, you're muted. Adam, you're muted.
no talkie.
Sorry, I'm taking away on my keyboard's really loud. So, I haven't seen a lot of older games. Most of them have been newer and more recent, but I've seen enough Otto Orff highlights, and I'm a goalkeeper fan, so I'm gonna go. That's what I'm gonna go with.
Yeah.
But I do have an idea once you answer, Gio.
You have an yeah. Obviously Hector's the easiest choice, but surprisingly enough, I actually like Tommy, just because of the work rate he had in the midfield.
Yes.
I mean,
Second amount.
granted, I kind of hated them back then, but it's okay.
Why is that?
But
We're your lock screen now, though, right?
Yeah,
that's true. That is true. You are my lock screen. But those are old times, right?
Uh-oh.
This is a new era.
New era, right? Right.
So when are you replacing your Baltimore background with the Cleveland Crunch? Is that in the
No,
works?
that's my lock screen. My background is still Baltimore.
he's gonna have this.
Yeah, I mean,
So that is my lock screen.
Hey.
There
Oh,
we go.
So Mike
Great.
Slowick, Wave fan, if he's out there, owns a printing or works for a printing company. And actually, if I'll turn my background off here, I'm in a band, and I have I got a nice banner made up for my room behind me here. We can get you a nice, it's like 6 foot by 4 foot Cleveland Crunch banner to
that'd be
replace
sweet.
your blast banner there, Gio.
No, let's not do that. This is a flag, you know. He's not replacing the flag.
So my idea was, we've been talking about doing something a little bit different other than just shows and interviews, and doing like almost like a watch party of a game. And I was thinking of doing one probably from last season, just so we can kind of bring, but if it kicked off, maybe we could do more. But we may run into some rights issues from the league, not wanting to rebroadcast and things, but those old Crunch games are free for viewing on YouTube. Maybe we could do a Crunch watch party.
you know, I was going to
That's fun.
mention. I think that'd be a great idea to kind of build the hype in Cleveland, is to do a watch party of like that double overtime game or
That's a good idea.
We'll do that.
any game against Baltimore.
We'll say in the next 6 weeks we'll do that.
As long as I could,
I like
I don't
that.
get too much for rooting for Baltimore.
We'll find one against Baltimore, and I'll make sure I know what the score is before we start it.
Oh, that's not fair. That's not fair.
So great.
Don't walk off the field, all right?
I won't walk off the field, but we will actually be in a real size field. So
That's another memory. I remembered that one too. The night that Baltimore just walked off the field.
You know what?
Yeah.
I'll just take a drink to that.
Grace, who was your favorite player from the Crunch?
So my background's a little different. So I grew up in Wisconsin, so I didn't really get to watch too much of the Cleveland Crunch, but I referred to him as Coach Z because he actually coached me growing up in like middle school and high school. So I had a little bit of background there. He actually, it's kind of funny, it was this little hole in the wall barn that he turned into a little soccer facility. He put like turf down and then made like an indoor goal and did like one-on-one training out of there. So I obviously would just go with him just because he gave me some of my skill sets. So for me, Coach Z technically would be my go-to player.
What about your favorite Wave player then?
So see, I didn't watch them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was too caught up in like the American football scene in Wisconsin, unfortunately.
Yeah,
so.
You didn't
But
miss
Up in that here. Yeah, we tend to get caught up in that here a little bit.
Yeah.
Andy,
It was
what
only
about you?
last year you missed.
Andy, what about you for Cleveland Crunch players that you've known or talked to, even current time would work?
So yeah, I was pretty young when the Cleveland Crunch was popular. I was born in 98, so I think I was like 4 right when they ended or something. So I don't have much recognition of the games, I will say, but I'm gonna go with Otto just because I remember seeing the bobbleheads in Lucci's room and the pictures of them together. So, if he liked him, then he's my favorite too. So that's just the one I remember the most, have the best memory of from, that time.
Yeah, I have a picture of Otto and I when I'm little.
Oh,
That's
Look at
cool.
that hair.
Look at that lettuce.
Yeah, that always boggled me. He always had the long flowing locks, and I would always think like, geez, that's got to get in the way for a goalkeeper that gets in his hair or gets in his eyes or whatever. But
I don't know, man. Some of the
did amazing.
goalkeepers have some crazy hair.
That's just
Yeah,
like on our promo night, Otto Orff mullet night.
Yeah,
We're gonna be
show
giving
up
out
with your best mullet.
1,000 fans.
That would be great.
The Anderson Varejao wigs back with the
Yeah.
Cavs 10 years ago.
And
Yeah.
the Ben Wallace too.
Yeah.
So I have to ask. You guys had mentioned this on social media, so I just didn't get. I didn't see the replies or anything. But is Kickster coming back?
Yes, with a new look to him.
Okay.
Got it.
So there's a little story behind Kickster. You wanna give it to him?
Yeah, so Kickster is the ringless champion. Yeah,
Dinosaurus Rex.
Yeah. So he was never given his 3 championship rings. So we definitely want to honor Kickster, in that opening season and give him his rings that he's well deserves because he was equally as part of the team of the franchise as much as those players were that won it. So, so that's pretty much the background.
When we have our Hall of Fame night, we're gonna Kickster his 3 rings.
You have banners, you have rings. You won't have any time to play the game that night.
Yeah, seriously.
That's what half times are for. Well,
Yeah. Well, I mean, as the most recent team to have won a ring, rub that in a little bit. Yeah, just make sure the players get proper warm up because we had the ring ceremony for probably 20 minutes after warm ups, and then the players were just cold, and that's our excuse why we lost to Florida. So I'm sticking with that. We're gonna stick with that and go
That's
with
a
it.
good point, though.
a good excuse.
Yeah. But from what I've heard of other people, very few teams actually win on their like opening banner and ring ceremony night. It's just kind of a weird.
Do you have a stat on that? Do you have a little piece of paper?
It's 3 and 164 over the years.
Okay. All right. Well, good to know.
Maybe
I'm
4.
sure we won one and 3 back to back. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'll double check.
Back to back, and
We'll be sure to be that 4th man in that. So.
Well, this is exciting. So we haven't had this many people on at a time on a live stream since we had Ian Bennett on back in, I don't know, 6 years ago before when we started the whole COVID.
April.
Yeah, it's been that long, yeah.
But yeah, I mean, March was like 400 days, and then April, I don't even remember. Yeah, it's been a crazy year. So when did you first start talking
How
about
you
this?
got-
Was it pre or post COVID?
During, right?
Post or
Yeah, like
Like
during,
during,
yeah,
yeah,
like
during.
right
Middle,
towards
yeah.
like
Really?
beginning of, yeah, like early, like late April, early May.
Okay.
Yeah, it
Now,
was
now,
during-
was this like with the league, or was this like amongst yourselves when you guys started talking about it around that time?
Honestly, it was, I mean, kind of was just like a thought in my head, which led to that, just the Instagram poll and all that stuff. But then it quickly became a collective effort.
Yeah, I mean, that was like one of the first things that we did was contact the league to kind
Yeah.
of figure out what we need to do in order to get this thing off the ground. So
They sent us a lot of paper, a
yeah,
lot of paperwork. So we had to grub through all that, figure out what we needed to do from there, do quite a bit of research. And so we've been in touch with the league from the start, but we've really been working amongst ourselves from the get-go on. So a
Yeah,
little bit of both. To answer your question.
It's good to hear that there was a lot of paperwork though, because we hear rumors of, and in the old days, I think it was more true than now, but in the old days, it was like, as long as your check clears, you're in the league. So it's good from a fan standpoint to know that there's real live vetting that is going into this.
Yeah.
Because we don't want to have another Mississauga scenario. We don't have an Orlando scenario. Hopefully we're past that, and we've, those are a couple bad choices, we as a sport have made, and kind of hopefully move on from there.
I was going to say, even in the midst of COVID, we've been able to do what we need to do, get a team together, work hard, and we've had tremendous growth in the last couple months, this just being an idea in April. And I think that speaks volumes in itself, like during the tough times that we've been in, just being able to gather everything together, and everyone's put in, especially, Davis and Eric and PJ, just being able to constantly work together and find a unity among us is just, I think that speaks for itself, definitely.
Man, I see you guys are always, yeah, I could tell you guys are a close group. I always see you guys having fun on your stories and stuff. I'm like, man, I want to go golfing.
I want to see people again.
Oh,
Right.
right.
Yeah, I want to see people.
We want to see fans in our stands too.
Yeah.
there you go. There you go. Oh, actually, speaking about that, do you know when the league will announce you guys, or have you guys even gotten to that point?
yeah, we're not quite ready for an announcement yet. We'll give you a timeline.
Yeah, we have a little bit of work to do. Put in a little bit more due diligence to get a few more things done. But,
Gotcha.
we're working on that.
It's like a giant checklist.
Yeah.
Right.
I told you about the paperwork. We're crossing one thing off at a time. We're
We're
getting
still
there.
reading it.
Yeah, I figured as much.
We're doing it
I
right.
figured as much.
I mean, that's probably good though. You don't want to have you don't want to have an announcement, hey, there's this new team coming, and then have the league say, oh, by the way, we're not having it next season, in case that should happen. You want to make sure that everything kind of positive and make sure we keep up our announcements and things and get.
I would love to see, however, the league interact with you guys more.
Mhm.
I would love to see that, because I know you guys aren't officially announced yet, but just to see them interact with you guys, whether it's just like, hey, look, Cleveland Crunch are active on their social media page or whatever, it would be nice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we initially went for that push of like maybe 2020 coming into season, and we all took a step back. We're like, let's do this right. We don't want to be, that team that folds after 1 year. Like, we got to be smart about it and smart in our decisions. And again, COVID kind of helped with that a little bit too, not knowing fans and what that kind of world would essentially look like. So I think overall we definitely made the right decision to make that push for 21 instead of trying to jump right into it when we probably would not have been ready for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We want to be successful in what we're doing, and that's, important to us. So we didn't want to just push something out that, people aren't going to engage in. And, that's why, like Grace said, COVID kind of helped us take a step back and look at, the amount of work that needs to be done and what we need to put into it. And, since we made our decisions earlier this year, it's just been, work to hit that November 2021 target date.
Nice.
Yeah. I mean, it must feel good though, the reaction though, like especially from like the media, the
Yeah.
local medias and stuff like that.
That was going to be my question. What's the media going to have you guys reached out to the local media? Because
Yeah.
a lot of the MASL teams around now, they're not really, the local media doesn't cover them, but I would imagine in Cleveland it would be a little different.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we've had some media coverage. So the Beautiful Game Network did an interview with Davis, and also News Channel 5 just recently did a story on us. And I believe this morning we were mentioned on Q104. So I just think like through social media and through word of mouth, we've been able to generate media coverage, which has been great, and also helping us get our name out there. And that also leads back to using social media as one of our main form of communications to hit those, our target markets and to gain media coverage, which has been great. Yeah. So that.
Some famous people around Cleveland have also reached out to us and kind of put up, letting everybody know that we're coming back. And then what did I just say? Yeah. I forgot what I was gonna say.
I mean, I was just so Otto Orff just had his rescheduled golf outing today, so I went back to that, and just being able to see the same faces, like the same celebrity faces there, and all coming up to me saying, "Oh, you guys are getting some publicity. We love to see this." So just the receptiveness we're getting through just because of our social media, our grassroots approach, I think is really starting to pay off and pay dividends early on.
Right.
Yeah, and like Andy said, that we have quite a few radio stations and the news stations reaching out. So it's kind of cool to see
Good.
The growth we've already made this far.
It's been phenomenal.
Maybe you can find a pattern that works and share it with all the other teams.
There's a handful of teams that could use your PR.
Yeah.
There's some that do it well, and there's some that are like, I won't point.
So just to give you guys an update, I just got a Facebook message from a former Cleveland player. He played for the Cleveland Force. He says that he would be interested in coaching the Cleveland Force. He's actually a head coach in the MASL now.
The Cleveland what?
The Cleveland, yeah. Which team was that?
What?
Which team? The Cleveland.
Well, the guy played for the Cleveland Force.
Yeah.
So he wants to be a coach of the Cleveland Crunch.
There
you go. There it is.
Caught you slipping.
So he's a current coach in the MASL, and I don't want him to go anywhere, but he did just send me a little message.
I wonder who that could be.
I wonder who that could be.
Ryan Hall,
Yeah, obviously.
Utica City,
Nope.
former Cleveland Force player,
Okay.
is watching, and I don't know why I just said that, but
Sorry, Ryan, I guess.
to know.
Sorry, not Ryan. Definitely not Ryan. Not Ryan.
That really got the mat.
it did, because we're all talking, and all of a sudden something popped down, and it was from Ryan Hall, and I'm like, oh, okay. Oh.
And the first thing was like, no matter what, don't say my name on the air.
Yeah.
We'd love to keep this within the family, so it's that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Keep it in Cleveland, right?
Yeah.
That'd be pretty
That's
cool.
true. That's true.
Revive that, yeah.
Keep the circle tight for sure.
I'll keep him in Utica.
But like you said, I have a feeling over, especially when it's officially announced, you'll get a lot of people reaching out.
A lot, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the excitement's there, so.
We already have. I mean,
And not to say our PR is not great, because they're wonderful. I mean, we all put our heart and souls into this, but I mean, if you have a brand like that, like the Crunch, and the nostalgia and the following that we already have, it's not that hard. You know what I mean?
we have big
Absolutely.
shoes to fill too.
Yes.
So we understand the circumstances that we face when it comes to
Mhm.
there's there's a notorious brand that just resonates still with a lot of people today. So
Right.
it's a huge focal point.
And some, some might raise the question of how do you know that something that was so, many years ago, how do you know it's still going to be popular? How do you know it's still going to generate excitement? How do you know that people are still going to be excited for it? Well, I think that's something that we have been able to prove so far and will continue to prove that, although this was popular and exciting, years ago, Cleveland in general has such a love for sports already that gives us, an in already, just the love Cleveland has for its sports. And also, the name speaking for itself and how much people loved it, in the past obviously does help us.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say the name alone buys you the first season, just based on that, because you got a lot of people who want to get tickets early on, and they want to, excited for you guys for sure.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'll definitely be there night one. I'll make the drive. I'll be there for Hall of Fame night.
There you go.
Love to hear it.
I guess you
That would be an interesting trip. You know what? I might have to. I don't know if I can say this and still live here.
Right.
Who should it be against?
Your wife's like, wait, what?
I mean, should we bring some nostalgia back in the atmosphere?
Who should we play in that
Yeah.
Hall of Fame night? Utica City, the Baltimore
I
Blast.
want to know your guys'
the
opinions.
ambush. What do you guys thinking here?
To be honest,
ambush crunch game would be awesome.
Yeah.
It's an ambush that, I think that would do.
I think that would be the best way to go.
Because you can pick up, if you do something too far away, you won't be able to pick up local fans. But if you do something like the ambush, you could pick up some local fans there too. Or
Yeah.
St. Louis fans coming over.
For
Shelly
sure.
Clark's getting a phone call tomorrow morning.
Oh, she's probably watching. Shelly.
Yeah, she's probably watching.
Shelly always watches.
Yeah.
The ambush organization, they're great people.
Yeah.
Fantastic people.
And through our process, like we've been able to talk to different owners throughout the league. Baltimore, obviously, Gianna being one of them. St. Louis, Utica with Tommy. So
Rochester,
even with
of
Soccer
course.
Sam.
Soccer Sam.
So yeah, we're grateful
Interesting,
for the things that were shared with us for that, because that's really helped us in turn put that into our business format and just some of the stuff that they were able to share. So
Nice. Yeah, I'm a big St. Louis fan as soon as they stop stealing our players.
they just got somebody from the Wave, I think.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
There you go, Matt.
You'll be fine, Adam. You'll be okay.
Eventually.
Produce players.
It depends on how things work out. I may need a new team to root for. So you guys got in. You guys got in right away.
Yeah.
I think
I've been for two fans here tonight.
Yeah. Matt, we'll get you a Cleveland Crunch scarf once those debut.
Yeah.
Right there. Absolutely.
Yeah, I'll get a jersey. I'll get a jersey for sure.
Yeah, I definitely need one because obviously you could tell I collect jerseys, so I'm gonna definitely need one. I'll order it.
We'll be
as it
designing
comes out
relatively soon as well. So just more to come on our end for that. So
Good.
yes, sir.
This is awesome. I'm
Yeah.
excited for you guys.
So what do you want fans to know right now? Kind of
That's
before we
right
call it
there.
a night here.
Exactly, your footnote.
Just to be on the lookout for us. We're gonna make a impact in 2021, and to just continue with the support that they've been showing. We're really appreciative of that, and to continue to spread the word that the Crunch is coming back.
Everybody get up, everybody get up, everybody get down. Everybody get up, everybody get up, everybody get up, everybody get down. Everybody dance to the rhythm. We're gonna ride in the rhythm. Everybody dance to the rhythm till the night. Everybody get up.